Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field of Grey Empires as Persia, where I think we're in the process of trying to set ourselves up for war, while of course still trying to go around and, fix that decadence problem. Either by raising culture or by reducing decadence. This is a good place to put a culture site in. It's a bit far away from where we're beginning the Empires Inn. We'll go to the smokehouse here. It's a decent orchard. I'm tempted to go brickwork so we can get that land expansion from tier 2 structure. Go smokehouse for more food and health. Yeah, that'll probably be the last of the health buildings I do for a while here. But getting up to 30 health is not bad. Not bad at all. Two more turns and that'll be reasonably productive. Those guys aren't food just because they literally only make one food. Make 0 everything else. Monument or public works. Because we're having the culture problem, I'll go with the monument. So frequent earthquakes is removed by Builders Guild, so I should build up the infrastructure. I don't really want another woodcutter here because we're close enough to the forests in the west that we probably import in the long run from the forests. Yeah, it's 4 out. Once we get up to Empire tier, we'll import from the forests. We are on the ocean, so let's do an anchorage there. One building slot here. Oh, there's a monument. And then we do have an idle loose. Public works. Idle loose there. Go smokehouse. Idle loose there. Let's do the smokehouse again. This is a place that is a forest. So I'm actually tempted to re-roll into the sawmill, but I'll delay for the moment and grab the theater for the culture. And that's all the idols. Troops are ordered to go places. I don't think I've got any decisions to deal with. No. Well, actually, no. We got in the army, which is not a deal with because I've already done that one. Okay. Cycle the turn. Or forget, let's put the timer on so I know how long this part is. Moved up a little bit, but we're still in the declining tier. Okay, moving west, moving south. The garrison here is dealing with some rebels. Let's give the garrison a general to increase the likelihood it succeeds against the rebels. Because I'm not anywhere in the position to send troops over to help. Nothing to build there. So we will just commit to trying to get back up to the progressing tier instead. So slaves will still put on food. Nope, we need to leave 1 on infrastructure to not run the risk of something breaking. Wheelmaker, no, I think we'll go to Slaughterhouse to try to get the growth going a little bit. monument, more culture. We are in the glorious tier, so we are suffering from decadence from age. So likely by the time I get out of this government type, so stop being glorious and become an empire, suddenly I'll probably have way too much culture. But for the moment, I'm suffering from the problem. Slots there to build. We can hit land expansion, and we are hitting land expansion. So we can import our own wood. This will make us a little bit of money in the long run. Slight cost of some infrastructure upkeep. It will give us a extra building slot here, which we can turn into a bunch of other stuff, as well as move our wood around a bit. You've now dropped to just conquered. Are you? Yeah, you're still at the point where you're not gonna make anything productive. You're under pacification due to stuff, which now means you can make some infrastructure. You're not making it very well, but you can now make something other than food. That's good. Okay, one building slot there. Can be a monument. We'll go with the monument for the culture. The road is also, the public works for the road type is also tempting. I'm gonna force march that army to get it to deal with the rebels, the Babylonian rebels quicker. Right now I am interested in trying to acquire, effectively filling out the provinces. So we want this place, even though it's pretty bad, because eventually that will be a province with those. I inherited you from the Babylons. Oh boy, the Babylons, of course, have terrible territory. They can occasionally get terrible territory, yeah. Says the province that can't make any infrastructure and can't make any food. Well, at least under pacification doesn't do either. Okay. We got 3 build slots here. There are 3 terrible build slots. Okay. Yeah, we want to finish up the provinces if we can, so we probably want that. We probably want that. Maybe not going to push deeper into the central of Arabia right away. I'd rather our friendly neighbor to the south here take over and give us a nice safe south border for the moment. I'm going to go around to all the idols. Public Works. That's all the idols. Okay. Now go to the regional decisions. So we advanced time, get our guys closer to their objectives. Go to territory watch, which does mean we managed to engage the rebels. Five to 1. Nice. Nice victory there. Oh, and our other guys are in a walled settlement. That's why they haven't fallen yet. That's fair. We're still in that declining tier. We'd like that to be fixed, but that doesn't just magically go away. Change recruitment policy. We turn them into money. Do I want to sally from the fort here? I probably needed the sally last turn, really. Or come save them. These are pirates of all things. Okay. Okay. These guys are gonna, I think, lose one way or the other. Unless... Do we have... We do actually have positive food, apparently, given the circumstances. So we're not starving. I might just leave them there in the siege. More Lydian territories defecting to us. Yeah, there's another one that's defected to us. And we now have enough territory to make another province. So I guess we will. New province for us. It's not a good province. Let's be fair. Yeah, I'd probably prefer the farm over the ranch. Though I'd prefer the public works over both. Okay, nothing new there. Still working on that salt house. That's all fine. That's all fine. Actually, that one we can move a person. The newly spawned in pop over to culture production. A new spot there. Grab the public works. You've now dropped under pacification, so you might actually have some value in other slots. Yes. Let's put you on culture. You could be better. In fact, you will be better in 5 turns. I suppose getting the 1 Hellenic pop converted would increase productivity. So that's not a bad idea to grab the cult site here. And it's a coastal place, so if we can get some coral nearby, doing the hostile and double's not too bad. So now the question is, do I think 13 can take on 12? And I may be wrong, and I might be sending that army to its doom. But one way to find out. So let's cycle that turn and find out what the result is. Or the army can abandon the province. Girls can abandon the province and go into my territory and simply handing it to me. Okay, that is definitely not the result I wanted. Could be worse, but it's not the result I wanted. They're proposing a trade deal. I provide them skirmishers, they provide me with manpower and metal. Sure. Let's do a deification decree. Okay. Worst case scenario, they take the province doing that, but at least we deal with the rebels one way or the other. Adopt local administration. Yeah, go do that walled settlement over there that just affected to us. That makes a lot of sense. Well, I say just affected to us as affected to us like 4 turns ago, but things are going. Got another province there. Reducing our decadence a little bit. Working the public works there. Go around the provinces. So you're fine. You got some building slots you want to work on. Troglodyte caves, we want the armor. The armor can be rolled. So that is an argument just to try rolling for the armor to clear up the Troglodyte caves. Yeah. This... If these guys were not our friends, we'd want to put the walls here. These guys are our friends, otherwise, so I don't need to worry about that. This is obviously a place where we can't build a farm, as seen by the fact that I can only build a shepherd's house, hemp field, and a ranch here. So this is probably not a place where we would want to make food. So we're probably working off of forge or brickworks here for valuable buildings. Let's do, or not forge, blacksmith. You forge things at the blacksmith, but they're made out of iron. Which is not quite what I was thinking when I was saying forge. So that's fine. Oh, lots of building slots here. That's good. This is the Caspian Sea. No, go import that flax. Makes a little bit of money. As well as improve our military ratio. We're out of range for the lumber. We might not be out of range for the lumber when you're got your regional road and we're tier 4, but we're in tier 3 government form, but we're not there yet. Same thing with the pottery. Don't have the leather either. Okay, so this is definitely a reroll situation. Orchard. No, we're gonna take the training field. Orchard was tempting, but not tempting enough. Oh, I see another one defected to us, so we now actually own the full province. Can we do something besides sanitation? We're having loyalty problems here. You provide 6 loyalty. I'd like to get that loyalty under control sooner rather than later. Can I fix it with that? No. Put a couple guys on culture. Yeah, it reduces the revolt risk to like 5%. Yeah, there's the 5% line. Blacksmith again. We'd have to find ways to import the iron and the copper. I don't think we actually got any copper in the neighborhood. But yeah, that's probably what we're looking for. Unless I wanted to reroll. We can get granary, we can get wells. We're probably far enough away that it might actually be worth building the well line. Papyrus is what, like 3 away? 4 away. So yeah, that's far enough away that we might want to do it there, because otherwise we're not going to be able to get up into the lower Caucasus. Yeah, let's do the reroll in case, so we can try to search for better food buildings. Because that's a good candidate for more food buildings. An expansion, ooh, bunch of building slots. Street Parlor is always nice, especially because you want to move papyrus around a lot. Iron Mine, I'm not too desperate for iron. Could do clear water. It's definitely a toss-up between the clear water and the street parlor. Because we're having decadence problems, I'll do the street parlor. It's culture with no strings attached, really. Like, it's not... If you can't get the papyrus in there, it's not a great source of culture. Which is why we're preparing the salt house over it, for example. Produces fish that can already be imported from the neighbors. Maestress over there, yeah. Okay, so we probably want to pass on the fish. Oh, I suppose I don't necessarily know if fish import. I think we're going to reroll here anyway. What's the pulling seed fish? Oops. Can't see there. So I can't see. Oh, there's the creep cells. Ah, okay. So that would be the reason to build fish, is because nothing needs fish. So you can't move fish around. Fair enough. So yeah, in which case then it would actually make sense to build a fishery there. Because it's fish provided to adjacent provinces, okay. Adjacent territories, and that's the only way to get fish there. In which case we will go for the fish. Okay, you arrive in 2, so next turn we're going to declare war on the Lydians. We're fighting the rebels. So first the garrison's taking a swing at it. And the garrison has an absolutely terrible day of it. And then the proper army comes in. Because we've already weakened the army, we clear up the rebels. So we lost the territory, gained the territory. Story short, was a wash. Apparently I gained a progress token off of something. One of our objectives defected to us. This was an objective, yeah. This is what just defected to us. That's where the progress token came from. The modifier efficient administration has been postponed a couple turns. Okay. Okay, so I do probably want to deal with those rebels sooner rather than later, so you're going to want to move over there. It's going to take you 4 turns. You basically do the same thing. You're going to arrive a turn later because you just can't keep up. And yeah, it is time to declare war on Lydia. So that the next turn we can issue the move order into the place I need to go to complete prevail against Lydia. And then it's basically going to be mopping operations on most of Lydia. Which I suppose if we're fighting them means that's probably what I want these guys to do after they deal with the rebels, is map up some of the rear zones. No, build slot. Because we don't have marble in range. We don't have marble in range. I thought we had marbles really close by. We do. As soon as you take over the neighbors. So you can get the marble bonus off of hostile and neighboring territories, but you can't get you can't import from those. So we can't import the marble, so this is expensive, this is terrible, so don't do that. Okay. It wouldn't be the end of the world to actually put a royal treasury here. It would put more garrison here, which wouldn't be bad. Though I don't want to deal with the decadence problem right now, so we'll skip on that because it's decadence. We are getting the marble bonus. So infrastructure and culture, that's not a bad combo. Let's go with that. Okay. Slaves on to infrastructure. Get it done 3, that's probably good enough. Next. You're specifically looking for the armor, which we could roll. So it's just re-rolling until you hit that, or you hit a 0 slot. That's interesting. Open slot. Similar sort of thing here, where we should really be rolling for the armor, which you can hit. So we're going to re-roll until we hit it, or we hit a 0 slot. That's interesting. Weaver, you know, I like that Weaver. 21 money is good. I like some money. Especially because we're going to, when the efficient administration goes away, we're going to have a money issue. Unless we do things like that give us some income. And of course, we now have an anchorage on Blacklisted top places. So that's not a great place to have an anchorage. Definitely not worth building a harbor there, because we don't really need the manpower or the boarding cost efficiency. Like the anchorage is providing us some money, so that at least makes sense. Training ground. I want a 3 slaughter there. 3 empty slots. Ah, and you've calmed down a lot. You've calmed down a lot. Okay. So that makes you a lot more productive and a lot more stable. We'll go orchard. Can I get you all off of? Yes, I can get you all off of stuff and auto construction. Cool. No place nearby makes stone. At some point, I am going to need to export stone to places. So we need a place that can make stone. So that's going to be you for the moment. I think here we want to re-roll for the land expansion. So we're going to re-roll here. And then we got a land expansion being built there. Lots of public works being built there. Open slot. What can we get? Public works. Ooh, lots of building slots here. Of course, because of all the territory exchange, we're having a little bit of a food issue, but it's a little issue. We obviously could do Preceptor House. Oh, I'm really tempted to pull over, because we know we're going to Preceptor House. That construction is strong. We do want a stables here when we can get it. But Preceptor House. Can I get enough? I can't get enough. At least not this turn. Maybe a couple turns after it's cooled down a bit. Hold site. Is the province food positive? No. There we go. We've accepted that one isn't going to be food positive. Idle loose. All the resources bonuses are satisfied. So if we had leather to import, that'd be great. We don't have leather to import, so it's terrible. I think I'm going to reroll here. And we'll turn the infrastructure down a little bit while we're doing that. Rerolling is something we want. Yep, that doesn't look like a bad place to bad orchard to grab, so we'll grab that orchard. And that's exactly the infrastructure we need to finish the orchard, and that's all the idols. So let's roll the turn and hopefully not regret the war declaration. It looks like we're not regretting it immediately. And of course, the province I'm about to declare war on them, or declared war on them before, promptly just defects. Like, the game has predicted where I'm going to go with my troops, and it's like, yeah, no, we're just defecting. You don't need to siege us down, we're just going to defect you. So I think that checks on turn end, not... So I think the defection comes after this is checked. That's why this isn't clear. But with that province defected, our next objective is Lycia. Is the province of Lycia. Although, maybe relieving the forces on the place. Yeah, we'll do that sort of move. There's quite a few guys on the defected province that are not appreciative that their province is probably just defected in the middle of a war. And yeah, of course, the Lydian province, the Lydian capital is defected, doesn't give us 157 money. You could not have planned that better. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna declare war on you to take a city, and just have the city just promptly defect to you is a little lucky, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and of course we have raiders coming in across the border. So we're gonna give a command to the garrison. We're gonna order the garrison to sally. At some point we're gonna be moving marble around, so the expert stonecutter here is not a bad idea. I think it used to be like the marble cutter or something like that. Which is where the marble bonus comes from. But the confusion that you didn't need marble to cut it confused people, so I think it got changed to be the expert stonecutter, which is what it currently is. And yeah, you don't need the marble to build it. Though you probably want the marble to build it. That's a different problem. Oh, lots of growth here. Yeah, more culture conversion. Caucasian on, some culture generation. We did get culture positive, so maybe I don't need to be quite so aggressive in culture for the moment, but I'm worried I'm going to go right back down into it, so right back down into the declining tier. So we're going to still keep building a little bit culture for the moment. Monument or regional roads. I want that trade range on the regional roads, so we're going to do the regional roads. The monument probably, short term is probably the better advantage. The long term, the regional roads will be, but short term versus long term. This is a place I probably don't need. I don't need the cult site. It's only worth 5 culture, so we're gonna pass on it for the moment. This is not coastal, so I'm not trying to upgrade into a Haslan temple because you need it to be coastal for that. And the big bonus the cult site line gives you is, I think it's the import for ceramics. So the third version of it is the import for ceramics and conversion bonus. I don't really need either of those. On the other hand, this is a decent granary. We got flat land next to it, so we got a plains next to it, so you can at some point import, well, let's say import, we can get the bonus for grain here, which would make this an even better granary. So yeah, let's build the granary, hoping that we can get the grain later. Okay, check the loose ones like that one. Oh, that's another Babylonian territory that's defected to us. That actually gives us a full province at this point. Okay, I can't make enough culture to stabilize the province. I can put enough in there to get the revolt risk below 5, yeah. Oh, and honestly, that probably wants to be the province capital. Make her the province capital. And then your idol doesn't surprise me. We do have a place where we can import stone from already. No place to import olive oil from. And this is not olive territory. I'm gonna go for a reroll. Your idol. We're looking for weapon depot. We can't hit weapon depot. Oh no, I can hit weapon depot. So we'll take the 0 slot to try to reroll into it. Here we're not looking for anything in specific, so we'll take the weapons, the training site just because it's a decent building for reroll. None of the other ones are shouting out for me. And yeah, if I don't have one of those, I usually go for the military building. And then there's no idols. There we go. Okay. So waiting for them to come over to squash the rebels, assuming this army can hold out that long, and I think I think they can. The rebels are not storming even though the walls have fallen. And the probability the fort just gives up is low. Not zero, but it's low. In either way, I think we'll be able to take the fort back either way. So we'll come over, we'll take this the rebels of the territory back, the territory with this army. While these guys work in the west, dealing with the Lydian army. We have a plan. Okay, so they gave up sieging the place they defected, that's fine. The rebels gave up sieging, went into Babylon. That works for me. We're now about in the middle of the stable tier, which is a better place to be. The war has taken its toll, and Lydia is proposing peace already. You just want to give me money. No. I doubt the war has actually been going on long enough to really give me anything, really, so let's let the war continue. Lydia is no longer a threat. Thanks to no part to the diplomacy and military acumen of the king, I could buy that. The Lydian capital defected on the start of the war. We've earned 100 legacy for the capital defecting to us. And a large amount of money for our success. Okay. New objective. Academics, because we've been in the declining tier and haven't really recovered very much. Oh, and that place defected. So we're now down to 1 down here that we want to defect. Yeah, we're growing. Egypt's growing too. So the boss of this run is growing. The mini bosses are dying, but the boss is still growing. We have found a group of spies hidden among traveling citizens from Athens. They have all been put to work in our iron mines. +1 slaves. So I assume the Athenians and the Spartans don't like each other right now is what's going on. I thought... Oh, it's exit. Wrong button. It'll be fine. I pushed the wrong button. And expecting my guys to sally forth from the fort valiantly. Only to not have them do that. Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem. Hopefully. Next turn, if we're still in the stapling tier, I'll probably start moving people off of culture protection. Because we want to stay in the stable tier. Arguably, I want to promote to Empire tier off of taking a objective, not rolling her progress token for being in the progressing tier. If that makes much sense. Watchtower to fortify the northern border a bit. This isn't a bad builder's hole. My infrastructure is not that bad. We should be in range for dragging... Well, maybe... Well, we will be for the Papyrus when we're Empire tier. I'm trying to think for dragging up the Papyrus for the Preceptor House, for example. We got 2 build slots here. Or we'll get 3 build slots here, so build the builder's hole while we're trying to sort other things out. Grab the Salt House. Public Works. Crafting District Guard Tower. This is definitely a Crafting District location. Not a Guard Tower location, because this is deep enough in our territory. I don't think we need to really garrison it anymore. Hopefully. You could probably benefit from more food. At some point, I'm hoping we get some more prospector resources so I can try to clear some of these bad province bonfires that get cleared with it. Don't suppose I get you back to the positives? No. Bit of a shame. It'll probably calm down on its own. And if it doesn't, I'll have to send in the troops at some point, but hopefully that's not anytime soon. Oh, if only we could trade for leather. I'm gonna wine. Into harbor isn't a bad idea. It's you who's the rebel source. Yeah. And we can't keep you loyal anyway. Under pacification will go away in a couple turns and we'll be stable to that point if it doesn't get a bad event in the meantime. I'm waiting for you to sally. You would have sallied last turn if I pressed the right button. Which isn't my bad. That's a recently defected territory. This is a recently defected territory. That's all the idols for the moment. Okay. Yeah, this is probably going to be provinces utterly worthless until we can get into a province. This territory basically produces terrible food and terrible infrastructure, which, if it's in a province you can specialize into the commerce or culture, isn't too bad. When it's an individual territory like this is terrible. This is super terrible. But yeah, we just need more Babylonian territories to defect to us, apparently. Okay, then we're going to advance the turn. Begin laying siege to Lycia. Here's our Sally, which hopefully our guys haven't been intruded too much, so this goes reasonably easy. Yeah. Rebels dealt with. Well, actually, I think those are barbarians. The barbarians coming across the border are dealt with. There's the leading army. We catch them in a field battle, apparently. Immortals showing off, being strong veterans with that minimum roll of 6. And there goes the entire enemy main battle line. Except for one unit that rolled well. Then gets caught up in the pursuit. There's the leading army, which is going to take that fight pretty well. So, not everything going our way, which is kind of expected. We had a lot of exposed territory. They're proposing a trade deal. I give them the skirmishers, they give me metal. Okay, that's fine. We probably want you to do Salt House, get some food and health that way. And yeah, we were still in the stable tier, right? I have to check when we were on the list. There we go. Yep. So we could probably go down a little bit and be fine. So if we pop in the province, I'm gonna pull everyone off of culture here and put them on construction or onto food, just in the capital province for the moment. So you need 25, you're getting 62. You need 30, you're getting 62. So I've got about 60 infrastructure I can move over to food. So about that much. Get the capital growing a little bit faster. Nothing to build here. So I'm kind of doing the opposite here, where we're moving citizens on to culture, but this is because we don't have anything to build here. Okay. 14. Oh, some of these places actually have got analysis to food and infrastructure production. What we did. A little bit of infrastructure, okay. So that's fine. Those are fine, although we can move one guy onto infrastructure, get a building a little bit faster. Regional roads are always nice. Oh. The region's apparently growing. We do want to do a leather making at some point. So we'll import the cows to export the leather. And then we'll do saltworks here. Yeah. Okay, we're on to the individuals. Yes, we're hoping in 2 turns so we don't get another loyalty dropping event. So we can get the place stable. This isn't a bad place to do anchorage, we're going to do Clearwater instead. And then you, are we in? I don't think we're in Papyrus range. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you had a regional road and we were Empire tier, you would. So I think we'll go for the reroll here. There's a couple of infrastructure buildings I'd like to get, so we can be working towards that regional road. Okay, there's no idols left at this point. Cruel neighbors. The Babylonian Empire is a menace to our very existence. We can't allow them to stay independent if we want to live. Our counselors will warn you as soon as the king has decided what is the best course of action for Persia. Okay. I suspect that's not going to properly complete, because that's probably gain Babylonia from the Babylons. And it's under siege by the Egyptians right now. Okay, Arta's siege there. Better eat barbarians over there. We're going to relieve that siege. We'll probably go take the pirates over next. And then we'll deal with Lydia. I've already been... yeah, we've done all the idols. So let's cycle the turn. This siege might last a long time. They aren't starving, so we're going to have to storm the fortress at some point. We're just hoping to breach the wall first. If we reach the wall, then we assault. We'll be golden. Okay, Persians won against the Piratee. Displace those slaves. This is the spend money one. I don't want to spend the money on these options. Defeat Babylon. The Babylon kings are always managed and soft and cruel. We come as liberators of their own people, and in doing so, get rid of a looming menace. Be sure to conquer the home region, Babylonia, and conquer any and all regions they held. You must achieve these goals within 30 turns. Okay, so this is actually completely defeating Babylonia. It's not just enough to get Babylonia. And also vice versa. I don't think if Babylonia falls to the Egyptians, does this disable this? Or maybe it does. We'll find out. Because I think it's going to fall to the Egyptians before we come to take it. Okay, no luck with the breach. Manages to destroy a lot of food, but without them actually starving, that, or the food going down, that doesn't do anything. Okay. So we want you take that province. You target the Persian army, so you merge. You can start moving westward. And that's kind of showing you the power of sea movement, that it's actually easier for them to move down here into the ocean over there. Because we got good roads going this way and this way, but not really good roads going this way yet. One building slot in the capital. Ivory. The Castrum Elephantante. With time and effort, elephants can be trained to better resist the stresses of the battlefield. This would allow me to recruit elephants, and which would apply a plus 10 bonus XP to. I'm very tempted to do this. I'm also very tempted to pick up the public work. So those are basically the two I'm thinking between. But no, let's grab the ivory here. I'm not sure if ivory is a resource I can move around. No, it's not a resource I can reliably move around. As the only building that needs it is the Temple of Zeus. Now, vice versa, that does mean it's not a resource I necessarily need anywhere. Specifically in our case, we get a bonus for having it near our provincial capitals. Our province capitals really like ivory. 10 culture. So that's what we're getting the bonus wise putting it in the capital here, is the palace here. It provides 10 extra culture if we build it here. So really the bonuses we're going to be moving around is the coral and the ceramics. And ceramics is probably the easier of the two. Nope, we now have the Tablet of Babylon. Faction-wide 15% conversion bonus, faction-wide 15% culture bonus because of defections off of Babylonia. Two open slots. Theater for the culture bonus. Or Brickworks for land expansion. Let's go the Brickworks towards land expansion. I think we were still in the stable tier last I checked. Last we saw. Yeah, we went down a couple slots. Still think I'm going to take the next territory off of culture generation to get it growing faster. Either in the form of building or in the form of actual growing. Okay, if I get another 20, which wouldn't be that hard to do. There we go. That'll finish the brickworks in turn. Clearwater. This is a place where we can get granary and stuff. Well, probably don't do the Emperor Fabricator. We're not that desperate for money right now. So yeah, Clearwater or Training Ground. We'll do the Clearwater. We'll go for the health. Food stable. Granted, we still want to make more food there so we can get more off of the food, but it's fine, that's fine. Uruk is now the province capital. Courthouse is tempting. Courthouse is tempting. Yeah, I think we'll do the courthouse. And that's all the way around, so now we're looking for loose ones, like this one. This is loose and idle. Expert Stonecutter's not bad there. Land expansion. We do have enough to form that province. It's probably there or there where we want to make the province capital. Let's put the province capital the one less likely to actually revolt for the moment, because it's actually going to make it more likely to revolt. Yeah. I could be there too, but yeah, we'll put it where we put it. You're looking for Weapons Depot. You can hit Weapons Depot, so do a reroll. Put on food production for the moment. You've actually got 2 open spots, so if I hit something that isn't... Well, if you're just looking to grow. We're going to do Salt House here, because it's a decent growth building. Okay, that's all the idols. I don't have the decision to turn men into money or metal. No. Or the one to turn metal into men or money. We're waiting for that siege to work. I probably should just hit the storm button. Like, the civilian hoplite is probably going to be a problem. The urban militia shouldn't be too bad. Like, because those are 4 defense in a place, so they're 5. That's 6 defense in a place that's +1, so 7. So yeah, the civilian hoplite will be an issue if I order an assault. Whereas we'd be going in with 6. And good support bonus. Yeah, I've had enough of just screwing around with this fort. We're gonna storm it. It's not gonna starve is basically what's going on. So we're gonna push the aggressive. Okay. I see that one of the provinces has gone and defected back to us. Here goes the storm. And we exhaust the entire garrison. And, okay, because we've exhausted them, that's mitigating some of the defense bonuses. We're still getting 8 to 5. That's still a very dangerous defender, but... And then 8 to 4. Okay, we should... maybe not go as well as we want it to, but we can break the fort by storm. Okay. Okay, put those barbarians down. Garrison hold. Garrison does hold. Okay. Okay, and we have 5 progressing tokens. So we can stop being a glorious monarchy. Under the rule of Zebethon, Persia can be reformed into the Empire of Persia. Yes, please. Then we can adopt the local administration. The region must be under pacification. It's just conquered is not under pacification. And why can I do it? Do it over there for some reason. Okay. Oh no, we can do it there. That's fair. The courthouse in you. No, let's do it there to get the courthouse there. Okay. Bit of a shame. Actually, that's an objective now. So just go take that objective. And then I was going to take you shares to get wherever you go. Push that way and then that way then. Yeah, I suppose at some point we probably want both of those just because they're the other two territories in our capital province. Let's pick up the palisade here, which we're set to do all in one turn. Oh yeah, we can move so many guys off of production and still get that done. Another 15. There we go. Severe avalanche is... Actually, it's mainly food health that it's affecting. We need to build up the infrastructure to get it fixed. But it's a food health problem. Okay. And then you're just RNG. There's a 2% chance every turn that the stable is clear. Not quite enough to get it done in one turn. Monument done in turn is fine, that's fine. Lots of slots here. Let's do Salt House. Is the local trade goods, it doesn't cost us anything. Granted, that also means it doesn't get imported from any place, but we can accept that happens every once in a while. Training ground. We do want to convert these people eventually, so cold site's not bad. This is a ceramics maker. If you find more ways to move ceramics around, that'd be good. Smokehouse. What needs ceramics? Major temple line. Okay, so that's an argument to be building the temple line in various places, is to pull the ceramics around to apply as a bonus to the palaces. And we got a palace in every territory that wants one, right? So, for example, this palace is receiving plus 10 culture from being next to ceramics. So we do want to move the ceramics around. It's a little annoying that we got to get major temples everywhere we want that bonus practice, and or build the ceramics maker. Two building slots. Public works. Gotta expand that road network. You're getting up to Builders Guild to clear. What is Builder Guild? So not only is that, I think that's a tier 3 building we gotta get up to get that to go away. It's a bit painful. And it's an infrastructure penalty. It's at least nice to have to count as an infrastructure building. Yeah. Okay. We'll look at the Salt House here. Three open slots. We don't have a place we can get the silk from. Otherwise, we'd do that. Do the brickworks instead. Working on that courthouse. It's fine. In fact, we can move more people from food to infrastructure here. And then we're back around to the capital, so now we're looking for the luces, like the one we just took over. Yeah, go improve the walls. It wasn't enough to stop us, so apparently it's not enough. It's not what we're looking for, but we'll take public works. Okay. We do want the public works to finish reasonably quickly, so back onto constructing it faster. Anyway, I think this is a good place to put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow where we continue to prosecute the war against Lydia. Once we're done with the war with Lydia, we will join Egypt in attacking whatever is left of Babylon, or Babylonia. With their destruction, basically destruction of these two guys, we're going to start contemplating how we're going to face the Egyptians themselves. We might not even be intentionally necessarily in the first war against Egypt be attempting to completely destroy them. It may be valuable to take a bunch of legacy off of them first, just so that we're in a better place later on in legacy. 3 parts in, we're up to 900 legacies. We're making about 300 parts a real life, or 300 legacy at a real life hour. But yeah, you can see sort of legacy-wise, Egypt has a lot. Egypt right now can't quote-unquote win because they're not 3 times that of Babylon or Athens. But if they bring Babylon down and Babylon actually disappears, they're getting uncomfortably close, right? Sort of perspective, right? So yeah, we do probably want to fight Egypt. We probably want to take some legacy off of them. That might be the entire goal of the first war with them, is just take legacy off of them. We don't necessarily want their territory, but we'll see when that happens. So yeah, with that, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to take a short break to sip a little bit of tea and stretch the legs, and then we will begin the recording of the last part for tonight. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.